Welcome back, guys. Been on the water a lot lately. Fishing, the sound is tremendous right now. Catching coho and cutties. Today, I want to share with you one of the secrets. I can't believe I'm doing this. One of the secrets of understanding saltwater fish, all fish, but we're talking about saltwater fish, really saltwater fish, and how they use how the water surface influences fish vision underwater. First off, let's start with something that we can all relate to. When you and I look at a rainbow, oftentimes, if not virtually all the time, especially if the more complete the rainbow is, the more this phenomena happens. If you're looking at a rainbow, inside the arc of the rainbow, it's brighter. Outside, it's dimmer. What's going on is all the droplets of water around the rainbow are generally the same size, and they act together as a lens to focus the light, to bend the light within the rainbow, and so that there's more light in the rainbow coming to your eye, and you see that. And then you can also tell that the light around the rainbow, outside the rainbow, is dark. It's darker. If you pay attention, you'll notice that you have more detail in your vision inside of the arc of a rainbow than you do on the outside, because there's more light coming into the aperture of your pupil. The water surface does this constantly, and it creates a phenomenon known as caustics. A caustic is an area underwater of intensified light due to the water shape, the surface of the water shape. Fish, this both disadvantages and advantages predatory fish underwater. In the nearshore environment, we'll get our little whiteboard out here. In the nearshore environment, now first of all, this is a snapshot of the water. It's not, it's never static like this. The water surface is always moving. But if I'm a cutthroat trout or salmon, if I'm any nearshore fish, and the water surface starts to become what I call sharp, meaning the waves aren't rounded on top; they have a sharp crest. Then if the water is 2, 3, or 1.5 feet deep or so, the caustics, the focal point of this wave, so the crest of each wave focuses the light, and the trough scatters the light. You'll notice this in the nearshore environment when it's real shallow, because you'll see bands of light all over the bottom, and very focused and very bright. When you see that, it's because the caustics are focusing the light, and they're focusing it right around the exact depth of the water. Now, this is important to understand, that this phenomena happens because fish don't have eyelids in their eyes generally, and specifically any fish in the Oncorhynchus genus, their eyes point upwards. So when the water has a little bit of ripple on it and just a little bit of sharpness, it's moving around a lot, and these caustics are flying all over the bottom, and they're flashing in the eyes of the fish. This disadvantages their vision. It can overwhelm their visual processing and cause them to go out deeper. These caustics do this. When I'm fishing in the inshore environment, I specifically want flat water like this. I much prefer flat water. I'm sure you've noticed a great sign for a cutthroat beach is nothing going on the surface, dead calm. They like that because the caustics are very mild. When it's flat like this, the caustics focus much, much deeper. We'll get to that in a minute. But when the water surface is what I call sharp, short waves with a sharp crest, the caustics are focused very shallow and they hit the fish's eyes with a lot of intensity. Just like the rainbow phenomena for us, but with much greater intensity because it's underwater and all that light is being magnified right into their eyes. So they'll go out into deeper water when it's like this, or they're more inclined to hold still because if they're swimming, it's just they're encountering it all the more. But these caustics are going all over the place and in multiple directions. They're all over the bottom like this. That really, really overwhelms their visual processor, and it overwhelms them with light and makes it more difficult to track the movement of their prey or to spot it in general. Just like if someone flashes a flashlight in your face, you don't see great detail after that because your rods and cones are overwhelmed. Conversely, if a fish is deeper, and right now we're fishing for salmon and coho, specifically in the Sound, when I'm in deep water, or when a fish is in deep water and the water is nice and flat and calm, the caustics focus the light very deep, and they really serve to highlight where schools of fish are. As we know, fish are scaled, and their scales reflect light. In the inshore environment, the predatory fish and their prey, the scales reflect the bottom and they become really hard to see. But in the pelagic environment, the bait, the scales really highlight the water. They reflect the highlighted light coming into the water. And when you have a scenario like this where, these dark areas over here and then the brighter caustic areas over here, this part of the school of fish is going to really shimmer and this part isn't. And the shimmering nature of these fish caught in this caustic is going to help these other fish locate them much quicker. Understanding that caustics exist and understanding how they influence both to the advantage and to the disadvantage of predatory fish can help you focus where you should be casting. So that, and bringing it back to cutties, if I'm cutthroat fishing and the water's got a slightly sharp surface, I'm going to be looking at the bottom and focusing my casting, not so much right in the kitchen, but I'm going to pull off a little bit and look at the bottom until the caustic lines on the bottom aren't really sharp and bright and focused. They're more dissipated because the caustic has come, formed, and then it starts to spread back out again like that. Once it starts to spread back out again, it can start to be to their advantage again, plus it loses a lot of its intensity. So when that happens, I'm pulling the boat off, and I'm putting my fly where it's 5 feet deep, 6 feet deep, and then obviously just going out deeper. Something to keep in mind, if the water's like that, the other predators, specifically the seals, are also going to be taking advantage of that. So if there's a wind chop in the near shore environment and there are seals on the beach, I'm going to be really selective of where I fish because I'm not trying to feed the seals, the cutties, as I release them, and that's a real thing. But the point is, pay attention to caustic lines on the bottom in the near shore environment. And if they're very sharp, and if you're not catching fish, instead of moving to another beach, take a couple minutes, bring the boat way outside, let everything rest, maybe change your fly, and then fish the water that's 5 to 15, 20 feet deep, so that you're targeting the fish where they've moved out to, not just where they always are. Understanding caustic lines on the bottom and how they advantage and disadvantage predatory fish, huge for being able to catch cutties not only on the nice days but on the slightly windy days. knowing where to target them in the nearshore environment. Good luck with that, guys. I'm telling you, I'm giving you pearls here.